So we gotta have a look at this Hyundai. It's the Tucson. Customer complained of no blower motor most of the time. At least that's what Mrs. O wrote down. Oh, looks like we've got a note on the seat maybe. It is a note, but it's not for us. So no blower motor. So let's just go key on. Indeed, we have no blower motor, so that's good. No high, no nothing. Sounds like the mode doors are working. Yeah, I can hear them moving around, so that's good. And what's the other thing Miss O says? That he has a rattle underneath the car. So we're gonna take it for a little shakedown here, see what we got. I don't know if we're talking like sway bar link rattle or if we're talking like heat shield rattle. I did not get into particulars. We'll just go around the corner here and whack some railroad tracks. Feels a little loosey-goosey in the back end there. Real wishy-washy in the back when we give her some side wiggles. It's like you turn and the back end catches up with you. Could have a strut back there rattling possibly. It's kind of what it sounds like to me. So I wouldn't be surprised to see like the, you know, the right rear strut leaking like crazy. I'm gonna take and turn the key on, folks. Blower motor is on high. I grabbed us a test light. Before we do anything, let's just back probe this little guy. It's pretty easy to see. There. And there. Oh, look at that. We've got a nice bright light. So what's that tell us? It tells us a lot. That's off. Low. Next one up. Next one up. Super bright. Burning my retinas. So let's give it the old Fonzarelli. Everybody knows Fonz, huh? Hey! I said, hey! 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 That's not working today. But we know we just simply need a blower motor because we're lighting a 5 amp test light or a 4 amp test light. So needs a new blower motor. Maybe seized up or something there. Or open circuited more than likely. So, anywho. There's your problem, lady. Heat shield. Didn't even hear that sucker on the test drive, oddly enough. And then looking in the back, it does not have struts. It's your classic shock spring setup here. And it's also your classic just rotted out New York car. It does have a bad sway bar link. Maybe you can hear that rattling. So that's probably what we were hearing rattling. That sounded like a bad strut. In the PRNY, you've got to be a little bit lenient on what you're looking at, and not lenient as far as safety aspect. But you know, a lot of you guys that are outside of the New York or the Salt Belt will look at this and be like, "This whole thing's shot." Well, you're 100%. I mean, this is a 08, so it's going to be hitting the crusher here probably in the next year or so. But when we look at suspension bushings and stuff, yeah, they're all gonna look dry and crusty and weather cracked, and you just kind of gotta close your eyes a little bit. If they're still attached, well, is what it is. Because this looks just like any other 2016 or 2018 you'd pull in too. I think I was just telling you guys it's 2008, it's 2014. So it's not an 08, it's a 14. Either way, I guess everything we said is still the same. And I know that sounds a little bit ridiculous, and I'm not saying I'm going to overlook, you know, blatantly obvious safety items, but you know, let's tell a customer, let's say we told them like, well, all your bushings have some, you know, checking in them and you need all new bushings. Well, at that point, the car's totaled. And that's even if it's a, you know, let's say a 2-year-old car in New York. You know, they're junk, they're rotted. And, you know, you're not moving these cam bolts. You're not getting the bolts out of, you know, any of the suspension components. So if you say, hey, Joe, customer, you need this $5 bushing, well, it's going to cost, you know, $5,000 because you're going to need a subframe and every bolt that attaches to it. It's just a fact of life. So you kind of have to use your best judgment when looking at stuff and which battles to pick. But obviously, if one of the bushings is completely ripped out and the arm's, you know, banging around, then, well, you have no choice. And unfortunately, again, I keep saying that, that's what condemns some of these cars in New York State. Rust. I mean, that's what ultimately gets them in the end. This liquid calcium chloride or magnesium chloride, whatever it is they put on the road, I mean, it spanks these cars. You guys seen that video I did not too long ago on that 2019 Chevrolet. I mean, it's rotted. It's just, you know, it's 3 years old. But about 10 years is usually about limit. Most things over 10 years old, well, you're pushing your luck. They're getting pretty smoked at that point. Crown, fluid film, you know, New Hampshire oil coating, rust check, whatever one you use it. You'll get twice the life. You get 20 years out of your car instead of 10. So think about that for a while. Somebody's already played the big washer game with this thing. It's completely rusted out. The bolts won't, well, they might come out. But usually what we do on these kind of heat shields when they come in, we take the factory nuts off, we put a fender washer on there, but somebody's already done that obviously a while ago. So, you know, you can reattach it with some rivets or you just take it off, throw it in the trash. But we can't show that on YouTube because people would go crazy. This thing fell off on the road, nobody'd think nothing of it, but can you imagine if some whack job YouTube mechanic took it off and threw it in the trash in front of everybody in the world? So if you're doing one of these and you're reattaching the heat shield as opposed to letting it fall off, you know, I'm drilling into the frame structure. Make sure where you're poking a hole, don't go just jamming holes willy-nilly. And then I'm using aluminum rivets, so it should last a little bit longer. Some time has passed, but we did get customer approval. It's a little bit later in the day now. Had to pull the car outside, wait for him to call back. Let's see if we can't unhook this. Probably should have unhooked this earlier to see if it's all burned up here. Which it probably is. It looks like it is. Yeah, it looks like the resistance has gotten to it. The connector's all melted in here. Thought about that after we checked it out. However, we know we have good power and ground, but yeah, she's pretty cooked inside that terminal. It's terminal, fella. Looks like she's cooked inside there. We're gonna cut this plug right clean off. Not uncommon to see this. We'll cut it off. We have an aftermarket motor, so we will just cut the terminal off of it also. Yeah, this one's definitely has been super hot. You can see the wires all cooked there. What do we need? Phillips head, it looks like, or JIS, if that's what you want to call it. Thought I saw one right here. There's got to be more than just two, isn't there? The guy would think. Alright, there's two. Where's our third one? Maybe right over here in the middle. Can't see. You guys are all up in my way. We'll do some feeling. Feels like there's a third one in here. Ta-da! Ta-da! There it is. Come in with the aftermarket here. Oh, did we just nail that the first shot? Oh, take it back out, huh? Alright, feels like it's holding itself. See if we can't get a screw started in it here. Mother of pearl. Just when you think it's your lucky day. Alright, she's staying again. Round 2. We'll try a different hole. Where are you, baby? We'll try this one. Catch a couple threads. Boom, we caught a couple threads. There. We'll try to catch a couple threads in the next hole here. Professionals. There's that. Like I said, this would plug in directly, but we're going to be better served to chop it off. Now we know, hopefully the polarity is correct. We'll cut this off, direct wire it, and call it a day. Well, let's see here. So I looked up inside the old motor and the terminal's all burned out inside of that sucker. So we're not taking. Chop it off. If he wants to go back to OEM, all we can do is go down to the salvage yard, try to find one of these connectors, and go back that way. Oh, let's see, what do we have? Black to blue. We'll strip this little guy back here. Come on, baby. Let's see, I brought us a couple of connectors. I don't know if we'll be able to get a blue one on there. Maybe a little on the large side. Yes, sir. We'll have to go full yellow. Slide that up on. Give her a squeeze, a little tug. Strip back that one. Same thing. Comment section's going crazy about now because we're not putting a connector on it. But that's okay. We like to make people crazy. And at the end of the day, if this fails, folks, it's my problem anyway, so not a big deal. There's a fail. All right, before we heat shrink them down, I do have the key on. Contact. Oh goody, it's even blowing in the right direction. I'll shrink these little guys down here. There. That should piss people off. Why do they piss people off? I don't know. But the old comment section usually gets a little testy there when I use a crimp and seal connector. So it's a mechanical crimp. They seal, they have adhesive in them. They almost never fail unless somebody crimps them incorrectly and breaks the insulation. I don't know, maybe people get pissed off because they work. I'm not sure. But I enjoy doing it. Just too busy being spiteful. I forgot to put this little guy on. I looked right at it in the box too. There we go. It's a little fresh air deal there for the motor. That's what you get for being a jerk, Erico. Ooh, chrome socket. Impact. Oh, we're gonna have to give her the old donkey kick. Oh, stand by. Oh man, did I kind of slip on that one a little bit. It was 17 mil, maybe a pair of vice grips, and we'll zippy zap these off. The way that tire bounced, it feels like it's got about 15 pounds of air in it. So that's probably why it was so wishy-washy in the back end. 17, first try, look at that. Let's see if we can't just, there's no flat spot on these factory ones, so we'll just see if we can't just grab it with a pair of vice grips here. Easy. I thought I had a hold of you. There's one. Try the same thing on the bottom here. Come on, baby. All right. There we go. Heck with it, throw the whole thing away. Same part number. Actually, left and right are the same. Stick that little guy through. Yeah, we'll go on the bottom first here. Get her lined up. Yeah, boy. These are 17 mil also, but it's those lock nuts that are smushed down, deformed. However, these have flats on the inside, so you can use a wrench. You want a skinny one though, 16 mil on this little fella. We'll go like this. Stick that on there. wiggle that out of there. Give this one a couple ugga-duggas here. Didn't have to hold that. Look at that. Of course, the opposite side is exactly the same, just on the opposite side. So we'll tweak that baby back. Get that baby in there. These are actually pretty easy sway bar links to do. It's nice they're the same part number. See if we can whack them babies down without holding them. Nope. Let's get that wrench up in here. There's that. And we'll just hold the bottom one as precaution. You gotta be careful because you can wad them suckers up if you're not careful. Come on, baby. He goes. One more ugga-dugga for good luck. That's it, folks. Let's put the wheels back on it. I'm trying to tick every box, so we're going to use a torque stick also. Let's see. We better check the tire pressures. Like I say, bouncing these on the ground. This one felt like about 28. 27.8. Like I say, I bounced the other one. That one felt like it had about 15 pounds in it. Tire pressure light's on and flashing, so he's got sensors that don't work, but it's not a big deal. It doesn't fail inspection for it yet in the PRNY, so nobody ever fixes them. Yeah, this sucker's pretty flat. Like I say, you can tell when you're driving it too, it was pretty terrible. Let's see what we got. 15. Yeah, look at this guy. 14.9. Wow. I could set up a little stand at the fair. Bring your tires in. Let me guess your weight. Step right up. All the tires are about flat. I see he's got some Mavis all season. So must be I don't put on a Mavis tire. Must be they didn't check to see if the sensors are leaking or, you know, corroded around the beads and that kind of stuff. When my guy Josh does tires here, we always take care to, you know, clean all the beads. So he's got these 3 here because we're waiting for the seals for the TPMS sensors because they leak too. So we clean them all. And then I think you guys have seen it in the past. We use the old Fry lube on there, so it's a tire safe, you know, grease, so to speak. Keeps the rim from getting all corroded. And I see the Napa guy was just here, and he dropped off these TPMS sensor seals. Get this Toyota, come on, get out of that box, come on. So there, we put the new nut on it, the new seal, the new screw, and the new valve core, and a new cap, of course, and that'll keep you from getting comebacks. Take a little toot around town here. Oh, she's a little tighter in the back now, boys. That's better. Ready for whacking for then. I don't hear that clunking back there anymore either. I think that'll do it, folks. I'm just going to go back to the shop here. We've got good blower action. We fixed his rattle, both of them, the rattle in the rear suspension, and we fixed the rattle underneath without just taking the guard off and throwing it in the trash, you know. But try to keep everybody happy as much as we can, except for our butt connectors and torque sticks, stuff like that. Oh, and chrome sockets on impacts. Anyhow, go down there in that comment section, Insta, Facebook. You guys know what to do. Just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. But keep my eyes on the road. episode. Whoa! Thanks for watching.